Not to see or evaluate or appreciate suffering is the greatest suffering of all, because that would mean that the person has closed the doors or the iron gates on the possibility of learning from them. This is usually the condition of the human mind as it jumps from one thing to the next, like a butterfly. At the moment of experiencing something, somewhat of a discomfort, the mind wants to jump to something a little bit less painful or more pleasant than the painful, trying to swim against the current, if you will, as it tries to exert its energies to get away from this uncomfortable situation as fast as possible. Meanwhile, life is trying to play catch-up, trying to show the mind its hang-ups, its attachments. Perhaps that is the reason why people experience more of these unfavorable, if you will, or painful experiences as one ages and the physical body gets tired, gets sick faster, longer. Life has caught on, and the person's fast pace run away from the unpleasant becomes more lagging, and the illnesses start to stay longer. And that creates even more discontent, more suffering, more discomfort, and more hatred. Discontent, more displeasure, pain, bitterness arises. In the mind. Perhaps this is also one of the reasons why the elderly enjoy being around children sometimes, at least in some cultures, such as playing with one's grandkids, to feel a little bit more of that playfulness, that butterfly type of hopping from one thing to the next, and the playfulness and the liveliness, the color, the youth that they see in these children. Perhaps that allows them to kind of, in some imaginary way, recapture some of the youthfulness that they experienced when they were younger in the physical body, where pain and suffering of the joints, etc., memory loss did not exist. But life not only has caught on, but they're actually sitting in the lap of life. In a way, they're also like that child or those children that have been running around and while mommy is calling them to come in. And finally they're here in mommy's lap, life's lap. No need to run away, because now they're slow enough. The brain cells or the brain is not rushing about as frantically, as erratically as it used to. And the person is now able to appreciate at least has the opportunity to appreciate life and the experiences one has gone through. That's another reason why an elderly person, might be considered a wiser person than the youth. Because now their suffering is inescapable. The neglect that many elderly people face is inescapable. And perhaps that's another reason why many of them we find them experiencing dementia. I say perhaps because I wouldn't be surprised if there would be discoveries saying that it is also self-inflicted, quote unquote. Self-inflicted dementia, or even self-inflicted Alzheimer's. What I mean by this is that the individual seeing the uncomfortableness, the pain, the suffering of neglect when they have been abandoned by society or by life or by especially their relatives, their loved ones. Now all they have are their memories, but those memories have a funny way of haunting them because they're still inhabiting this body, this frail, weak, incapacitated body that's falling apart at the seams every moment. So the person starts to implode, if you will, slowly, dying inside, slowly. And that slow pace sometimes might be still too slow for them, where they want to accelerate, but their memories keep pulling them back for better days, to reminisce, etc. But they do not have enough individuals around them to celebrate those memories with. Hence, the memories become obsolete, unnecessary. Hence, the person wishes willingly to walk away from those memories. Perhaps, obviously, it's one would say, subconsciously. But deep down there is this lack of usefulness of those memories, and the person is sad. The person laments, grieves over a life not just spent but wasted. So there's tremendous amount of pain in the hearts of the elderly. That is when suffering can really, at the very end of one's life, at the very least, become a doorway, an opportunity for one to pause and learn from the suffering, and therefore turn things around for themselves, to penetrate through. But it is so difficult, because of the momentum they've created all throughout life. And that is one of the reasons why the Buddha would always emphasize the need for a person to pursue the spiritual path while there's not even a single gray hair on one's scalp. A full set of black or dark hair, he says. Youthful, when the person embarks on this journey of discovery, of not running around, jumping around like a butterfly, avoiding the painful, running away and never learning from them. That is what I mean by running away from suffering is the greatest suffering of all.